Hello, my name is Artem. I'm CEO of Akord Properties, and this is your weekly news dump. Here we talk about news in real estate of Dubai and the rest of the world, and we talk about finance. Please follow us, like our videos. We release a lot of different exclusive content. I'm currently working on a really cool series of podcasts for you. Let's go. So the first bit, I'm still in Madrid. I stepped out of the balcony to not be as overexposed. You might actually notice the picture quality should be miles better, although the lighting conditions are atrocious. That's because I'm trying to upgrade our production quality. We've got a new camera we're working with. Microphone is also new because it's a travel microphone. If somebody asks, I will post my setup, but I'm sure other people have a better idea of what should be done anyway. So this week we've been looking for an apartment for my brother. Today we found one, we shook hands, working on a contract. So nice to be in Madrid where actually, you can shake hands with some people and it's as good as contract. I always respect that so much, and it's so valuable to me because it's my family member and I want him to be good and happy and safe in his new dwelling where, newer economies like Dubai not always as trust-based. This is both good because they come up with a lot more legal protections sometimes, but also is sometimes upsetting because people rely on them so much that they shake hands with you, tell you to your eyes, yeah, deal is done, and they ghost you. This is not how we do business. That's not how I like to do business. This is not something I enjoy, but it is what it is, It is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Anyway, this week was actually quite calm. Biggest news of the week is the new camera, and our office got flooded. I'll probably attach a video of that. We're still working. You just need to wade through a swamp in our lobby area, which is all right, I assume. We can provide you with wellies. Anyway, I heard fountains are popular in Dubai, so I guess it's a positive. Sales are going fast, actually, because I'm out of the country and I'm trying to get some rest. I'm not on top of every sale happening in the company, but just called in yesterday. 3 or 4 deals are in the works as we speak. More deals are being discussed. Very good, actually. Amazing for this time of the year. Economy is going so strong for Dubai's real estate. It's incredible. Usually this time of the year would be absolutely dead. That's why I chose this time to go on vacation. I thought nothing's going to be happening anyway. Oh well, good to know I was wrong. And the last bit is next week's news. I'll probably be recording from either Hungary or Romania. I'm flying to Budapest tomorrow. My flight is in the morning. I wish I would stay a bit more in Madrid, but business is business. I have things to attend to in Budapest, and that can't wait. So I'm off onto my flight soon. So that's essentially my week. Let's get into the news. So the first one is coming from UK, as per usual. The head of Bank of England says that the interest rates have reached their peak, so they're not going to increase them more. That's what they're planning, at least. They're saying that the inflation has slowed down, and this is good news. Finally, some good news from UK's economy, because I know I only tell bad news, and I kind of play it off as I'm happy for it, because for me it's mostly beneficial. But at the end of the day, I lived in UK for half of my life, and I mean, I absolutely love UK. I love London, Midlands. I even love Midlands. Even Cornell is all right. I mean, and it pains me to see UK struggle, honestly. And it's good to see that the most severe part of this economic downturn looks like it is passing. That not to be confused with the us closing on the end of it. I believe now it's gonna go into the slow-moving kind of stage where it will slowly drag itself out, where it wouldn't be catastrophic, it wouldn't be as much of a problem and as much of a trouble, but it's still going to be not great for investors, not great for people who are trying to preserve and multiply their wealth. So we're going for reduction in intensity, where UK is actually a place where you can invest successfully. But UK will, I believe, stay a place where investing successfully is extremely hard for a while now, anyway. This is unfortunate because inflation is still more than double of the target inflation rate of 2%. It's, I think, 5.7% from the latest data. And that's not great either, but it's lower than the previous metrics. So inflation is slowing down, and that's very good. So I will keep my eye on this situation and how it evolves. I will keep you updated in the future. But putting it short, the worst seems to be behind us regarding the UK economy. And that's the news I'm actually genuinely happy to hear. So UAE issued repeated warning for corporate tax registration. This is hilarious news because that's how not used, this is how good we had it in UAE, that a lot of companies have no idea, have no concept in their head of corporate tax and registering for it. So even though they probably heard it in the news, they thought about it as a small thing, as something inconsequential, and they kind of let it go past their head, you know? So now they're issuing more warnings that companies should register by now. And people just not used to even paying any amount of tax. But right now there is a corporate tax of 9% on all profits past, I think, 1 million dirhams. This is only for activities which are business licensed. So you as an individual making money, unless you're doing some kind of a hustle there where you're actually trading something, etc., you won't have to pay any taxes anyway as a UAE resident. But as a UAE company, now they expect some taxation to be paid. I don't believe it's because they need money, because 9% is inconsequential taxation really compared to most countries. I believe it's for them to have their economy join the whitelist, to join the so-called more transparent economies, so they could interface with the world economy much more efficiently. Because right now, some countries consider them gray area in UAE, which is, I don't believe is very fair. I believe it's simply because they will become way too attractive without this stigma. And other countries obviously wouldn't like that, wouldn't like UAE attracting too many of high net worth individuals from their countries. And, you know, but we will see how that develops. Honestly, going from this news, there's another news which explains the corporate tax applied to your real estate profits. This is very important to know. This is the second article I wanted to talk about in this segment. So very simply put, once again, if you're not a company, you're a person owning real estate, there's essentially no circumstances where you will need to pay any amount of tax. It's very unlikely, it's very niche kind of situations where you will need to obtain a business license anyway, and you will be warned about it way before you start those operations. If you're renting out, short-term renting out, or renting out for somebody to sublet, it's commercial property, it's residential, it's in the mainland, it's one of the free zones, it doesn't matter, it's not going to be taxed. If you want to do it through a company in UAE, that's a little more complex. This one, I think I'm actually going to be inviting to my future podcast an actual personal and corporate finance specialist and taxation specialist for UAE. And we will be discussing a lot in detail. I'll have announcements and I will have some kind of system for you to pre-submit your questions. So please comment underneath if you're interested in something. We don't get so many comments that I wouldn't get through them. So it's essentially your free tax consultation, which is not legally a tax consultation. You cannot claim against us, but you get me, right? It's your free trial of working out how tax system works in the UAE, because it's not as obvious as you would think. And I would love a lot of people to get involved, a lot of people to get educated from the live podcast and live dialogue with a great specialist I can invite, and I can have answer your questions. So first of all, we'll have a web page to sign up for notifications. That will be in the video descriptions. Please do that, or just leave your questions underneath the video. Subscribe to us. You'll be notified about the live stream. We'll be streaming on YouTube. We'll be streaming on Facebook. We'll be streaming on Twitch. We'll be streaming everywhere we can, really. Anyway, on to the next one. The next news is the National has a very long read article. Once again, dive into it yourself, read into it more. But what it discusses is what the hell is going on? Why is global real estate market suffering while Dubai real estate market is booming? What's off? What gives, really? Yeah, is the question. And what's happening? What really is happening is Dubai real estate market found itself in a very unique position where, first of all, it's very easy to enter legally. There's no big restrictions on freehold areas for properties. In those areas, everybody can buy. The standards for financial checks are much lower, so people do not need to prove as much of their income, do not need to prove it as tediously as, let's say, in European Union. Although there is Know Your Client, there is all of the checks. It's not like you can buy your house in Dubai with a bag of drug money. That's not how that works. But it is much more open to investment and much more convenient to investment. Then once again, coming back to no taxation for private individuals investing in real estate, that's great. And also, it happened to be falling during COVID significantly, which means by now, by the recession time where inflation is high for everyone and therefore borrowing is very hard, Dubai had very small gap between the real estate affordability and its value. So much bigger pool of people can afford this real estate. It have not become unaffordable for end user at the end of the day. And that's why the rental yields are so high. That's why it's still being purchased a lot. And also the supply of the real estate in Dubai is very well scaled by both government initiative and just the market really working as intended, which is amazing because it doesn't happen a lot. So what's happening is we have healthy supply and we have healthy demand. This is not happening anywhere else in the world, and partially it's just very good decisions by local authorities, partially it's dumb luck. I'll be honest, part of the reason Dubai is doing so well in real estate is dumb luck. It's all right, I mean, nothing's wrong with some luck. And at the end of the day, if you want to go into details and see really a full breakdown, and people who are way smarter than me discussing it, go into the article and read yourself. But once again, short story, due to the number of regulations which were very forward-facing, due to really open and friendly economy for international investment, and due to some lucky circumstances, supply and demand didn't go so unbelievably out of whack in Dubai like they did in most of the other places in the world. Please open some champagne for me. We're celebrating, we're very happy, because guess what? One of the Dubai's top sold properties this week is $11.4 million villa. Haven't been sold by us, but been sold in the area I actually like, which is incredible. It's been sold in Barari. Barari is kind of out of the way. It's not very central, but it's very well connected to everything you would need. And it's absolutely the greenest place in Dubai. It's covered in trees, in greenery. Temperature there is always better, is always lower than the rest of Dubai. This place is the best place to be. I don't know why people are looking at anything else. I've been to Al Barari. I've been there just to show a couple of villas to a client fairly recently. And just those like hour and a half was enough to feel like a small vacation for me from Dubai. And this is incredible. This is the area you're looking at, the premium real estate in Dubai, where you would enjoy yourself and where you can come year-round and enjoy year-round, or maybe even rent year-round. Al Barari is an incredible option. It's actually would be much cheaper than some other options. This exorbitant price here is due to the absolutely unique villa, a massive villa with incredible amenities. There's no better and bigger villa in the area. So the bragging rights itself did cost the customer quite a bit, but that is to be expected. So I've been filming here and the background gonna change quite suddenly. Really, only I can get excited about rain that much after living in the desert. I know if you live in London and you see me actually being excited about rain, that looks dumb. But do have a look. Look at that. Look at that. So it's just a second ago, I did a filming segment. We're probably gonna stick them together. It was bright and sunny, and this is your Madrid weather for you. This is Madrid weather for you, just changing suddenly and sharply changing, right? So the last news I wanted to talk about is this very, very cool little personal piece on Kabir Mulchandani. I'm sorry for butchering his name. He didn't deserve it. The guy should be widely respected. He's one of the founders of 5 hotels. And I know what you think, especially if you're a British person who's been to Dubai on vacation. What do you think about 5 hotels as a network? because of the 5 Palm being very party-centered, let's call it that. And of course that is a part of it, but I'm currently just working with them a lot, and I'm seeing a lot of their projects, and the way they develop and the way they roll out everything, always on the top, ahead of the market, is incredible. The guy is truly good at what he's doing. And yeah, you will hear and read through the article, seeing a lot of R's kissing in there. And skip past that, listen to the guy talking. He's actually got a good system, good understanding of how your experiences interact with your just physical everyday needs or wants. Like, you know, one thing is you want to go in a pool, but the other thing is how do you want to experience pool? And they understand that and they deliver on that. Every project by 5 is very, very cool. I mean, personally, I like it a lot. Every property I've been to every property built by 5 holdings, and in every single one, the vibe was great. It's all about the vibe in those. If you want to be more centered around what you experience emotionally, probably 5 will be the first thing I'll recommend for you to check out and to think about. The vibes in every 5 hotel are immaculate. If you're going for a vibe for your personal purchase, that's where I would recommend to go and check out. They perform incredible on short-term rent, and they offer their own short-term rent management with guaranteed annual income, which is the market-beating option, to be fair. So do check out 5. Do check out the Kabir Mulchandani. Once again, butchering his name, I apologize. And I think that's the end of our news. It's a shorter ones. Hopefully next week more happens and I have more time to talk and my voice is not dying on me. Thank you and goodbye.